Hello, Raiders. This is Lyle once again, and today we're going to talk about the December Fusion here. This champion is called Pixnell. So, Pixnell, let's go ahead and talk about his kit and what content probably she'll be viable for, and then as well as the epics and the rares that will be needed. Okay, will be required to fuse her. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So the event here, the fusion event, is 2 weeks, 3 days, and 14 hours. So let's talk about her kit. The A1 is attacks an enemy and has a 30% chance of placing a veil buff on a random ally for 1 turn. All right, and that could be enhanced or we could improve the chance up to 50%. All right, 6 or 5 books are actually needed. A2, so places 60% increased defense and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies under freeze debuffs. All right, and places 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns on all allies under freeze debuffs. Okay, this sounds interesting. And then the um, A3 or skill 3 is attack 5 times at random. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing freeze debuff for 1 turn and has a 100% chance of placing freeze debuff on enemies that receives 2 hits. So it's all about chance here. And let's check the passive before we would discuss her kit. Passive is whenever an enemy places freeze debuff on an ally, has a 20% chance of stealing the freeze debuff and placing it on this champion instead. So also has a 25% chance of filling this champion's turn meter by 25% every time they receive freeze debuff. Has a 35% chance of removing any freeze debuffs from this champion at the start of every turn. All right. If there are multiple champions in the team with a skill, only one will activate. So even her passive needs books, right? All right, three. So and then this one six. That's nine, and that's two, and that's five. Wow, that's 17 books. Okay. So my my opinion on her. All right. Sh For me, she's not really worth, you know, getting. She could, as a legendary champion, or you know why? Because as a legendary champion, all right, her skills is based by chance, and that chance is not even 100%. Look at her A1, 30% just to put a veil buff, all right? Then you need a book to make it 50%. A2, okay? So you could book it for two Lego books, and then it would go to the cooldown will be 3 turns. Places 60% increased defense, 15% continuous heal buff on ally for 2 turns, and then it's gonna attack all enemies under debuffs. Places weaken under freeze. So this kit right here, okay, utility actually, utility buffs. Even the rare, or there are actually rare and then epics that has the uh debuffs like her. Okay. Though I mean the increased defense and probably some continuous heal, mostly epic. And then the A3 5 times at random. And look at the chance, just 50%. And then it would freeze 100% if it has been double attacked. Not even AoE, right? So passive is same thing by chances. Knowing that she's a legendary and fusion champion, if you're struggling with the resources, I wouldn't really recommend to get this champion. We know that she could be buff in the future. She could be buffed, but if you don't have a resources, or if you're free to play or low spenders and struggling with resources, I wouldn't recommend. Okay, so that's my opinion about her. But if you can, well, yeah, just go ahead and book her because she might get buffed. And then let's check the epic champion required to fuse her. All right, Balthus Draglord. A1 attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing 50% decrease attack for 2 turns. Okay, this guy is actually good for uh, he is good for clan boss because A1 decrease attack, but and then he's also a defense based champion. Um, Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing decrease. Or second skill, decrease critical rate, still based on defense. All right, useless in clan boss provoke. So I believe this guy probably is worth, trying in faction wars. But for clan boss, no, I doubt it. The champion survives back to the attack. Okay, all right. There are champions that are way better than him. And then this Alaric the Hooded. Okay. So A1's 30% chance of decreasing turn meter by 7.5%, and then it could improve to 50% once booked. Okay. 4 books needed, decrease turn meter by further 3% for each buff on the target. Not so cool. Attacks one enemy, that's A2, has a 50% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target before attacking, and has a 75% chance of stealing random uh, buff instead if the target has 4 or more debuffs. Okay, all right, but it's just one for one enemy. Attacks all enemies has a 75% chance of placing decreased attack, and then the accuracy for 2 turns. All right, not bad for an epic, but no, kind of useless unless you don't really have a choice. You don't have the already kind of champions. It's just some skills are really repetitive. Attacks one enemy has a 15% chance of placing stun for 1 turn, has a 40% chance of placing stun debuff if for 1 turn. Instead, if the target has more than 75% turret meter. Okay. And then increase critical rate and critical damage. Buff on the champion for 2 turns, then attacks one enemy. Will ignore 24 5% target defense. Will ignore 50% targets defense instead if the okay. Well, not bad, but not so great. All right, let's go to the third epic. Gerhard the Stone. Oh, is that Gerhard? Okay. So the fourth one. Ragnar Gold Glem. Okay. So this guy's kind of a bit interesting though. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing leech debuff for 2 turns, and then sacrifices HP equal to 15% of this champion's max HP, then fill this champion's turn meter by 75%, and place shield buff on this champion equal to 20%. Wow, only for this champion. Just imagine that. And then the shield buff cannot be removed. The HP sacrifice will happen even if it heals this champion and will ignore shield and block damage buffs. All right. Now, A3 places increased attack, and then for 2 turns, it attacks one enemy has a 75% chance of placing 25% weaken, so it could uh, be enhanced to, let's say, 20, 75 to 100%, and then also has 75% chance. Okay, so 100% once book. Decrease defense debuff if for 2 turns before attacking. Okay, that's good. Now this guy is good for clan boss. Now the problem is if you check the stats, all right, it's level 5 star ascended. The defense is only 559. Let's check 6 stars. Okay, if this guy's been 6 stars, so um, see, so that's what I'm talking about. His kit is good actually for clan bosses, especially if you're running a leech. And leech should come with high defense champion, right? Unless you would run him on unkillable. Okay. Yeah, he would be good in unkillable. Just look at the attack here, and then leech is not needed in unkillable, but this two skills here is actually really needed in killable. And then it could also, let's see, just check this. The HP loss is accumulated and the tracker over multiple track over multiple turn. Then decrease the cooldown of this champion's gleam of varies skill by 1 turn. Each time, just imagine each time champion loses 15%. Okay, by 1 turn each time. So this is going to be um, would probably instead for unkillable would be like 3 turns only. All right, so this guy can be good probably for unkillable. Um, Now let's check the rares because rares here is gonna, you know, sometimes rare is really good um, for some specific content compared to even legendary champions, right? So I'm not sure how actually Plarium think about this, but how they analyze it. But this Tiger Salt's really good. Just check her kit. Um, attacks one enemy has a 40% chance of placing 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. So take a look at that. All right. 40% chance of placing 5% um, debuff for 2 turns. And that's gonna improve to 60% once booked. Just an A1. All right. A2, weaken. All right. Attacks one enemy at 75%. It would go to 100% once booked for 2 turns. All right. A good thing about this, okay, this champion has like placed block debuff buff on the 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. All right. Block debuffs and increased defense. So it could be down to 3 turn cooldown once spooked. All right. And I've checked this champion before I actually show this or recorded the video. Just take a quick look in her um, stats. All right. Total stats. All right. Once ascended, 6 star. So she was able to reach 1k defense and then 35 and 1.255 attack. So she's actually decent. Now, if I'm running a Sepulcher with my like one team, 7 champions with Krila, and then I was able to, I'm hitting like the Spirit Affinity or the Green Affinity, I would definitely use her instead of Sepulcher. But I know Sepulcher has like block damage. But then again, um, the important thing here is, okay, she actually has like increased defense and block debuff. So if I have Septimus that could extend, Mart, and then I have Martyr, and then I have like Krila, and then I have Frozen Banshee versus um like Spirit Affinity, then she could be really a great help. All right, she could really be a great help. Um, probably might give me okay better scores okay than Sepulcher. Okay, not certain of that, but that's definitely my idea and how I look about this. Okay, the clan boss, and I've been doing clan boss guide and takeover for a while. whatever kind of comp, be it unkillable, counter attack, all right, slow boy comp, all right, like block damage comp, like, all right. So she's actually good, and I would even interested in getting her to 60 instead of this champion here that I'm thinking I might be just putting on Volt. Because imagine if you're using a legendary, the most important thing to maximize his or her kit is to book her. And just imagine you would need 17 books, Lego books, and you're free to play low spenders. No, no. I wouldn't really recommend that. Um, this guy, Rough Stones, it's good. Attack all enemies. Probably this is a hard hitter that could be actually good in. I don't think probably in if you put him on stun set and then because A1 is AoE, but not as good as Belaware. He could be hard hitting because of this skills, ignore defense, and max HP. That's probably for because Scarab King. But I would instead use like what they call it, is that Dark Aethel? Oh, Dark Elaine. And then if you check this fusion here, you will notice that each epic requires three champions. Okay, and those three are similar for each epic. All right, so Tiger Soul, and then you would need Stone, and then you would need Big Sticker. So let's check Big Sticker kit. All right, attacks enemy, heal, not good. Attacks one enemy, decrease the target's max HP. Okay, not bad. If you didn't have Dark Elaine, but Dark Elaine is actually a reward, so I'm not sure. And that's the decreased max HP is actually under her A1 or skill 1. So this is probably this champions is no good. All right, so and let's check the void rare that is required for to get to fuse the epic that is required to fuse the legendary because the only difference is each of this um, void rare. So let's start with Gear Grinder. Gear Grinder A1 is attack one enemy, play 7.5%, continuous heal buff on this champion. 8 attack is critical, so you need uh, your attack to be critical. So heals all allies 50% of their max HP. Okay, not bad. Revives the ally. Yeah, you could use this in Ogren. Don't think Ogren as a reviver. Um, he could be, yeah, he could be viable though. It's for a rare. Having this support with revive and AO heal. Well, this guy is a lot for support. Okay. And then A1 is also heal if it's critical. So this could really help you in faction wars. Probably some of the dungeons, but mostly for faction wars. All right. Then this Pantera. Pantera attacks one enemy 3 times. Each critical hit has a 50% chance of increasing turn meter by 3%. Are you kidding me? 3%. All right. Uh, so each successful hit would only get you like 9%. Oh. All right. And that's even a chance. If you book her, that's just 75%. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but okay, it is what it is. Attacks one enemy. Her A2 is attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 85% chance of placing heal reduction. Okay, not bad. Um, places perfect veil buff on and a 30% reflect damage buff on this champ is for 2 turns. Okay. All right. Not bad, not good either. So this is so-so. All right. Cruzat deep heart. So Cruzat deep heart. Extra hit is critical. The extra hit please is okay. If the extra hit is critical, please extra hit. If this attack is critical, okay. Attacks all enemies. Each critical hit fills champion's turn meters by 7.5%. Okay, three turn. Let's go for faction wars. Decrease defense. All right, decrease defense for just 30%. Then increase accuracy for all allies. Not bad, not good as well, but just okay. All right, so my take on this, probably won't be needing her, but if the fusion it's not that hard, probably gunning for her. And for the epic, I might save this guy. This guy is good as long as you have some decent support. Um, he's really viable for faction wars and then also unkillable team if you don't really have any other options. And this rare, really gonna keep this rare. This rare probably would help me with my clan boss team. Her kit is good because I don't have like um, what do you call this? Champion that has same kit with Sepulcher, right? And if you notice about her A3, okay, you don't really need uh like to increase you didn't she didn't said that she doesn't really need a lot of speed because the kit here requires three books, so you could lower this into three cooldown. Okay, so that's my take on this fusion event. All right. Now, if you have other ideas of the champions that we discussed, you might put a comment below. And guys, if you like the video, please subscribe. Help me with my channel so I could make more videos. All right. I'm also thinking for like Doom Tower clan bosses where you can beat it without really using OP champs. Because again, I'm also a low spender, just really purchasing monthly gems. Now, $4.99 a month. That's it. So kind of free to play, but okay. I know we need to be honest. If you're spending, even if it's just like a penny, you're no longer free to play. That's my take on it. Okay. All right. If you're spending money, even if it's just $1, you're no longer free to play. All right. That's it. Thank you. This is Sly once again. Subscribe to my channel and have a great day.